In order to get into Stone Tower Temple, we need to get the Elegy of Emptiness from the castle. Pull out your fire arrows and your Goron mask. Then grab some magic arrows and bombs right there. And then make our way into the castle. Now I'm going to go over a little bit more detail about gainers here. I've briefly mentioned them before, but this is the most significant use of one in this route, so I thought I would save the more detailed explanation for now. So, just a recap, essentially what a gainer is you're doing a backflip, releasing target, and then repressing target on the very next frame, like that. It's real quick, you only have 2 frames to do it. If you're in a corner, you have 2 frames. But if you're not in a corner like this, you only have 1 frame to do it, like that. Let me do a buffered one real quick, just to show you exactly what's going on here. So, get up next to the block, pause and hold target. Now, in the very next frame, you want to release target, and then press down and A in the unpause lag. That'll get you this frame. Then, on the very next frame, when you unpause, press the target button. There's your 1 frame gainer. Now, if we do it over here in the corner instead, we have this frame, and then we have this frame. Both of those frames will actually work for getting the retarget there. That second frame will not work if you are right here, so let me show you that for an example. So, for right here, this frame is not going to work. See? You have to make sure you're in a corner to be able to get those 2 frames, and that makes unbuffered ones really, really easy. If you're having trouble with gainers and you just can't get them down, we do have another option available. This is sometimes referred to as the C-up gainer. So go up next to the block, press C-up, then press and hold the target button, turn right, and go like just about past the doorway there, and then we want to press shield, down, and A in quick succession like that. What this is doing is, when you go into C-up and press the target button, the second you leave C-up, Link is going to like turn back around to the very front where you originally pressed the target button. Then we take advantage of this by turning Link this way, so you get a backflip towards the block, and then the target forces Link to turn back toward the block and grab the top. Let me show you one more time. C up, target, turn right, and then R down and A, like that. One important thing to note is that you want to make sure you do it quickly, because if you're not quite fast enough, you'll just get a side hop like that. So you have to press R and then like down and then A like this. It can be a little bit awkward to get used to, but it is a little easier than doing the gainers unbuffered, the regular gainers unbuffered like this. It is another option for you. Of course, you always do have the option here of going over to this guy, doing casual strats, and getting rid of the sunblock this way, if you can't get either of those working for you. The only downside with these guys is that, first of all, you have 3 little cutscenes. You've got the switch, you've got the block going away, and then you have this guy. You do get the cool music, however, so that is a plus, but that is 3 small cutscenes versus you can do a gainer and just go directly over it. So it's really up to preference, but I do strongly recommend getting used to the gainers there if you can. Inside the castle, we want to pull out our fire arrows and melt that guy up there. Then come over here, put on your Zora mask again. In this room, you're supposed to hit this little switch here and go under this, but all you need to do is you can do a Zora jump slash and get on top of this guy. And then just roll over here and climb this guy, hit the switch, and jump over to the door. This room, we do a Zora jump all the way over here to open the door. And then there's going to be 2 Skulltulas in our way. The first one, you can use Zora fins, and then the second one, pull out your fire arrows and shoot them down. It's a little faster than waiting on the Zorfin to come all the way back. Then pull out your Goron mask, go through this door, and roll up here. Don't be dumb. I don't normally get hit by those guys. That's like the first time I've ever gotten hit by them. Then you want to pull out your powder keg. This is where the powder keg comes into play. So one thing to note here is that the game wants you to go up here. There's a switch that's on that platform over there, the game wants you to press that switch, and that will move that block over there, and you go through the other half of the castle. But we don't need to do that. All we need to do is, as soon as you come out of this door over here, pull out your keg, and then just throw it over this fence right here. And then all we need to do there is jump down and wait on the keg to explode. And there we go. That skips the entire right half of the castle. Then we come back in here. Now, one thing I want to mention about Redeads. Remember earlier how I mentioned that the pirate vision is based on walking, so they only notice you when you're walking? This also applies to Redeads. So if you roll past them, they will not actually notice you at all. They will only notice you and turn towards you if you walk. But if you roll, side hop, backflip, whatever, they won't notice you and they won't freeze you in place. Just keep that in mind. Now, this boss fight coming up. On Japanese, we have power crouch stab, which we can make use of to speed up this fight considerably. Pull out your Deku Sticks, do 2 rolls forward, and then do a Deku Stick jump slash into this trigger here. Same sort of thing as we did back in Odawa. We just store the jump slash. This puts us into the cutscene. It's just a convenient way to both store the damage, and also get into the cutscene trigger. Now, just a note that this cutscene, this text here, I don't have to worry about mashing it at all. The cutscene is the same length no matter what, so you can set the controller down, stretch your hands for a second. Once they finish their laugh, pull out your fire arrows and burn this window up here. A small note that the light here is in a slightly different position depending on time of day. Once the light is in the room, go up to these guys and then take 2 crouch stabs. 1, 2, 1, 2. And shine light on like this. And those guys are down. And now for the king. So the king has like 3 different attacks. He has a slash. He has like a jump slash he can do, if you'll do it for me, please. And then, let's see. He's got a jump slash, he's got a breath attack, and then he's got another attack where he kind of throws his head off and chases you around the room. If you'll do some of those so I can show you. There's the breath attack. And then, let's see if he'll do the other one for me so I can just show it. Come on, dude. Show me your attacks. Show me what you can do, buddy. I'm just taunting him now. Breath again. Okay, there's his head attack here, where he just kind of throws off his head and chases you around the room. There's really not much you can do here. Ideally, this won't happen if you kill him fast enough, but in this case, all you can really do is just roll around the room and avoid it. There is some health in that pot right there, but just a note that if you slash, that's going to get rid of your Deku Stick jump slash damage. So make sure you pull out your Deku Stick again and jump slash again, restoring damage. And then he's down. Then learn our Elegy of Emptiness. Insert overused creepypasta reference here. Now, on English, we don't have the luxury of power crouch stab, but we do have something equally as powerful in this particular circumstance, which is the Deku Mask. Pull it out, then enter the fight here. As before, burn the window. Then we want to pull out our Deku Mask and spin against them to freeze them. And then we can do bubbles against them. They're actually weak against Deku bubbles. 2 bubbles each and they're down. And shine lights like that. And then rinse and repeat with the king. so. Get down here. Get over here, man. Oh, don't climb on the throne, buddy. I missed. This guy's harder to hit because he's faster. And Unfreeze is a little faster than the other two guys. I just got it. 4 bubbles. And shine lights. If I'm close enough. There we go. Perfect. Now, after you get your Elegy, you'll want to put on your Goron mask and roll out of the room. You actually cannot soar out of this room. You have to leave the room and then you can soar. So leave the room, pull out your Ocarina, Hookshot, and Goron mask. And then we want to just soar back to Ikana Canyon because this is faster than going back outside. Especially if you didn't get rid of the sunblock. Now if you got rid of the sunblock, you can just go out normally, but if you this is assuming you did not get rid of the sunblock, you just gained over it. This is definitely the better way to do it. Plus you get these drops right here. Again, there's magic arrows and bombs. I do recommend picking those up before you head up to Stone Tower. And in we go. Here for Stone Tower, on each of these levels, you're supposed to use all 3 switches and jump across all 3 blocks, but we don't actually have to do that. For this first level, all we need to do is step on this switch and play Elegy to move the first block, and then we're going to hookshot up to the top level and press another switch, and then from there we can just go straight across without needing to move the third one. Press that switch, hookshot up. Be careful, this fire key sits right around here. He likes to ruin your day if you're not careful. Hookshot up here. And then step on this switch. And Elegy on this switch. Make sure you use two different forms here. So notice I used Goron on the bottom and Human up here. Either way works. You can use Goron up here and Human down there. As long as it's 2 different forms, that's all that matters. Now before we go on, I want to make one note about these hookshot targets here. So if you want to climb on top of them, when you hookshot them, you can just hold the direction straight forward. If you want to just hookshot up and drop down, what you can do is hold the A button and Link will immediately drop. Because if you don't press anything, what he'll do is he'll hang on the edge like this, and then you just press whatever. But if you want to go the fastest that you can go on these, just immediately hold the A button to drop, or just press the control stick toward the pillar to climb up immediately. Once you have the first 2 switches done, just hop across the block there and hookshot across just like that. Be careful of this guy. Then jump down to this guy. And Elegy here. And you want to hookshot up. You can either hookshot the BMO that's up here, or you can hookshot the pillar, either way. Then step on this switch. Now we don't need to actually play Elegy on this switch. All you need to do is go over and stand on it for a second to get these blocks to move. Step off. Go around here. You can use this hookshot pillar to block the BMOs so you have an easy shot. Go up here, jump across here, and then while you're standing on this block, play Elegy. This will move the Elegy statue onto this block, and then it'll no longer be on the switch, so the block will go back, and we can just ride it back where it's supposed to go. Like so. Bong. Makes a funny little sound, too. Jump up here, and then hookshot up to the final level. And then there's some drops over here. We've got magic and bombs over here. And then arrows and a fairy as well, if you need any of those. I do recommend picking up a fairy if you don't have a fairy from Great Bay. This is the next best place to pick one up. Then whenever you are stocked up there, go over and hit this switch. Play Elegy. Jump across, do the same thing we did on the previous level, jump across, and then play Elegy on top of the block. You ride it across, and voila! Limestone Tower. Into the temple we go.